The blaring sirens echo through the narrow corridors of our crippled void ship. The noxious air smells of smoke and burning metal, and it stings my eyes and burns my lungs as I run. My heart races, and I feel the cold sweat trickling down my skin as my worst nightmare unfolds all around me.
Cruise to battle stations! Prepare to repel the invaders!
A voice orders over the loudspeakers. I ignore it. Alien boarding parties have breached a dozen decks, killing the crew, and worse. We simply don't have the weapons or manpower to stop them. Abruptly, the main lighting goes out, leaving only the harsh red emergency lights that continue to flash overhead. I find my way to my bunk and urgently thumb the rune pad next to it. The hatch opens, revealing the small alcove set into the wall that is my living space, which in truth is little more than a shelf. Inside, sat cross-legged and hugging her pillow, is my little girl. As she realizes it's me, the relief is visible on her terrified small face as she launches herself out of the bunk and into my open arms.
Daddy, what's happening?
She whimpers, her voice trembling with uncertainty. It's going to be okay, sweetheart, I whisper, forcing a smile I don't feel. We're going to get through this together. Remember what we talked about, if we had to get off the ship.
Get off the ship?
She repeats, understandably shocked. She's spent her whole life inside the cramped corridors of the dilapidated old void cargo ship. The prospect of leaving it in these circumstances must be overwhelming. I give her a reassuring squeeze. It'll be all right. You'll see, I say, as I wipe away the tears on her cheek. I carry her as we make our way down the side corridors. The main gantries are too dangerous, so even when the way is blocked by debris and fire, it's better to go the long way around to reach the starboard side. I try, unsuccessfully, to cover her ears when we start to hear the screams of the crew being butchered. By the aliens' reputation, the ones that are killed are the lucky ones. Eventually, we reach the savior pod, a squat door with a hand scanner by the side. It's reserved for high-ranking crew only, but I'm 8th generation, born and bred on the old ship, and I know my way around all of its systems. I take out a tool from my pocket and jam it behind the hand scanner's cover. With a twist, it pops off the wall and I can reach the wires behind. I cut and reconnect too, and the hatch opens with a hiss, revealing the single-seat savior pod beyond. I tenderly lower my little girl inside and strap her into the large, adult-sized seat.
Where is your chair, Daddy?
She asks. Don't worry, I'll take the next one. I lie. There is no next one.
No, Daddy, no!
She protests. I hear the sound of hurried footsteps echoing behind me as I press the activation rune on the seat and step back. The hatch snaps shut. With a burst of ignition, the escape craft shoots away and into empty space. I press my face against the little rectangular viewport and watch her go. For the first few seconds, I can still see her face, sat all alone in the pod as it silently drifts away from me. She's crying. Tears roll down my face too. Be safe, I plead, as I reach out with a trembling hand to touch the glass, as if somehow I could reach out across the void to soothe her aching heart. Alien hands seize me from behind. Their grip is as cold and merciless as the void as they pull me back. I struggle against them, forcing my head forward for one last precious glimpse of the savior pod, now a distant speck that carries my little girl to safety. Then I'm dragged, kicking and screaming by the invaders, into the darkness from where no man returns, leaving behind only the echo of a father's anguished cries and the haunting memory of a child's tearful face.